when a client comes to us, it's about how we can help them position themselves or increase their market in other languages. Lara is our machine translation. It's a hybrid between machine translation and large language model. Translated has more than 500,000 professional translated ranked in our database, ready to be used by our clients who are working in an industry that is so exciting and is so important. I'm super proud and excited to be part of it.
Welcome back. Another Tech Visionary Show. Rich Bontrager here with you again as we get back to the world of technology, the future, and real life. It all comes together here as we delve into what's happening in the world of technology. And we do that with amazing leaders, influencers that are out in the world today, pioneering and leading us into the future. And today we're going to get a very interesting conversation as we find the world getting smaller and smaller. We're talking globally through Zoom, through Google Meet, and through other ways. We now can go around the world live, meet people. We don't always speak the language right. We don't understand the language right. But we have an expert today that's in the world of language, logistics, and AI. They're going to bring it all together and help us understand much more of how to work in this new shrinking world and succeed successfully. Today, my guest is a hardworking language executive who specializes in localization operation and runs one of the most innovative translation companies throughout the world. It's called Translated. She's a co-founder of Pi Campus, a startup district and a venture fund in the beautiful city of Rome. See, we're going international tonight. And the Pi the Pi Campus has an innovative school called Pi School, and that specializes in AI and creativity. So without any further ado, I'm going to welcome in Isabelle Andrieu. And let's see if I did it right or not. Did my tongue roll the right way?
Almost, I would say. So my last name is pronounced Andrieu, but that's fine. I'm used to it. So thank you very much for the introduction.
You are an international person yourself, and I do because Rome sounds so fascinating, but you've moved and traveled the world. So what's one thing about France that you miss the most about being in the France region?
Yeah, so I'm French myself, and I moved 25 years ago. And I think I'm deeply connected with my culture. I grew up there. I really loved every part of it, and my family is still there. I have two younger brothers, my nephews. So I left them behind. And being an expat, it's very challenging. You constantly have to create your own nest, and it's hard to leave everyone behind. I still feel a profound connection with my roots and try to nurture it. In fact, I have 3 kids. They attend French school, and I think I like the respect people have for the community, the pride that they have for the country. I really like that. And on the other hand, I like Italian people because I moved 25 years ago. I love the food. I love the culture. I often say that Italy is a beautiful mess that somehow works. Yeah.
Well, and it is an international city, and you're in, the whole language business. You're in the business of language, of translation. What got you into that? Was it partly the moving around, being around a city of language? Was that part of the draw for you?
Absolutely not. It's my story is a love story, actually. So I met my future fiancé and husband in France when I was studying at high school. He was Italian. So when I finished my studies, I decided. So I was free to start my working life, and I decided to give a chance to our story. So I literally moved with my 2 suitcases at the Rome rail station. And I said to my future husband, "Hey, here we are. Here I am." So. When you move to another country, you start different kind of jobs. So I was at the beginning, I was a French teacher, and then I ended up in a French and Italian company, an oil French and Italian company. I was a marketing specialist there, and it lasted 9 months. But I had to travel a lot at that time, and having moved so far away from my family. Not seeing my fiancé so much, it didn't make sense to leave everyone behind and doing that kind of life. So after 9 months, we said, hey, start something together and unify our own skills. I'm a linguist myself. Marco is a physician. So we said, okay, can we find something to that will allow us to stay together, Language was something that was really part of our daily life because I was not bilingual at that time, and we had struggles with, all documentations and all the administrative problems in Italy. So we had needed to translate some things. So we thought, okay, it could be good to start a translation business. The initial idea was without a business plan. It was just the willingness to stay together. We had the smell that something was happening with the internet. Something huge was starting. It was 1999. I was 22 years old, and we just started like that. It was a pretty long journey, but it's now 25 years. But it was pretty cool how it started, of course, and then things defined, of course, better with time. But that's how it started.
Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break and let our sponsor jump in here. But when we come back, we're going to talk about the other amazing job she also does as well. So don't go anywhere. Back in just a moment. But first, a word from Bydrake.
To be the best in your industry requires speed to market and flawless implementation. And for that, you're going to need the right IT team. Meet Bydrake, your nearshoring partner for top IT talent in Latin America. With a talent pool of over 35,000 fully remote English-speaking Latin American developers available for long-term, full-time work, we take care of every step of your tech augmentation needs. From matching and pre-screening your ideal candidates to acting as the employer of record throughout their employment term, all for a fraction of the cost of hiring the same position in the U.S. Risk-free, no placement fees, no hiring obligations. When you're ready, we invite you to book a complimentary zero obligation call with one of our customer success managers to see how we can fill your current or future IT openings today. Just go to bydrake.com/contact. That's BYDREC.com/contact. We can't wait to augment your tech team.
Well, and again, you guys launched Translated. It is 25 years later. How much of this has changed as you've had to keep up with technology yourself? Does technology help you a lot, or does technology hurt you when you get into the world of translation?
So we started Translated literally using AI since 1999. It was the two of us, Mark and I. And how do you scale the company? How do you receive how many CVs per month from professional translators? How do you select them? How can you use technology to help you a little bit out with that? And that's how it started. So I think we've seen so many changes in the industry, and I think we were part of that change because we've always used AI to help us achieve better results, helping our translators to be faster, helping them adopting technology. And also the stereotype of a professional translator is someone that is in his own room with his cat, very lonely and not really willing to adopt new things because he's in his comfort zone. Not so we took care of that and making sure that share the benefits of the technology also with translators to allow them to adopt the technology as much as possible. So we saw a lot of changes from 25 years ago. It's pretty amazing. From this industry has changed so much in the last 20 years. You have to understand that translating a document was something that was made manually for centuries and centuries. And now it's completely automatic, and a singularity is coming. Machines are pretty advanced, and these happen in a matter of 20 years.
Which is amazing. I had friends that did translations probably 20 years ago now, as I think about it, and they were moving to the culture, get to know the sights, the sounds, write things down, and begin to work. How do you translate it back to French, English, German, whatever it was? And it was a painstaking journey to take it one little bit at a time. It took them years. And now it's a blink of an eye. What's been the biggest thing, do you think, that's helped us the most with that change from slow to rapid change?
So one of the things that is very important to understand is that technology is very advanced today, and this profession is evolving. We still need people, and it's very important to understand this huge change that is happening in our industry is something that is happening also in other industry, but our industry is very well touched by that. And I think it's important to understand that people have opportunities still, because the more you translate, the more content there is to translate, and the more opportunities there are for clients to show the world what they have to show in different languages. And we've seen that, we've experienced that with so many clients, and thanks to the technology, they are increasing the amount of work that they are commissioning to companies. And we need several different professional backgrounds in the language industry that are not a stereotype of the translator that I was mentioning before, but that are evolving in experts in the language. And that's what the client wants today. So they really want experts in that specific language. It's needed as something very important and special.
Well, yeah, because you have farmers, you have teachers, you have policemen, you have different sectors in industry, and they all have their own private language within the real language, don't they? So you have to learn that as well. Translated. Is that just an AI tool for people, or is translated also humans helping with AI, helping you? How would you describe what translated really does for you?
So translated is one of the most important leaders in the translation industry. We're a language service provider, but we have an asset that I think, so we do technology since 1999, providing with a full stack technologies that we release in open source. We have a translation tool that help our translators being faster, and it's free to use. It's called MadeCut. We have this for the translation, for the video content, for everything that is related to how to translate a document. And we have our own machine translation. So we do a lot of research also in machine translation. When a client comes to us, it's about how we can help them position themselves or increase their market in other languages. And we have the entire combination, like using the technology, but adding humans on top. So that's an immense asset, because Translated has more than 500,000 professional translated ranked in our database, ready to be used by our clients. So it's a mix of providing the state of the art of the technology in machine translation and combining it with the best freelance professional translators, so human translators.
So there is still a human side to what you do. It's just not computer only.
We've never created technology against humans. It's always a combination with humans and technology. We are a company of performance and people. And proud to have more than 200 employees in Rome, Italy, and a bunch of people in the US and elsewhere to cover the different time zone. But it's all about people. Yeah. How do you make people thrive in their positions using AI? AI is a powerful tool to help you achieving more. So all our processes in Translated are revised and reviewed. How can technology be helpful in all our processes? So we've started with our own operations, and we've declined that also to how can we help our translators, how can we be faster for our clients, how can we work in the language industry, in machine translation, to make sure that we have the state of the art of our product. So Lara is our machine translation. It's a hybrid between machine translation and large language model. So it has the rigidity of a machine translator, so it sticks to the original, but it has also the creativity of a large language model tool. It's a very powerful tool that many clients are starting to use in the industry.
Well, and you said it's open source, which kind of surprises me, because it seems like a pretty high-end tool to be using, but open source means really anyone can use it. You made it available for everybody, didn't you?
So not all the tools that Translate provides are open source, but part of them are. So tools for translators and for people in general to help them translate. So translated assisted tool, MadeCut, MadeSub, MadeDub, they are all free to use online, and you can find them free to be used.
That's amazing, because most people are not wanting to do open source. They want to just pay for everything, which I applaud you for that. I think it's great that you're making a highly important, highly advanced tool available to people in many ways free and open source. So congratulations for you for stepping out and leading that way. That's powerful leadership.
I think it's part of who you are, who we are. We are not evil, you know. And if we can enhance this industry, if we can help out with making sure that people have the correct tools to help them translate and communicate better, that's how we envision our mission. You know, it's a company. We need to make profit, of course, but we also need to have an impact in our industry. And I think that's how we started the business and how we would like to continue.
We've been talking about our company Translated, but now we're going to shift gears because she does even more. She has also started Pi School and Pi Campus. Now, how do you juggle all that when you're so busy with Translated? And what exactly is the Pi School and Pi Campus?
It seems easy from the outside, but it's sometimes I'm really struggling. Anyway, I want to start by telling you a little bit of how the story goes and flows. So we have Translated, which is this amazing company that does AI in the language industry. And as two co-founders really wanted to at some point, so we are two co-founders in the company, and it's pretty unique because we opened our capital to investments only 2.5 years ago, selling 6% of the company. So we'll still have a lot. In 2017, we said, okay, why don't we still had 100% of the company with my husband, and we said, okay, maybe we want to give back as founders to new founders in the market, especially in the Italian market, where at that time it was pretty hard to get some support. So we said, well, we're going to mentor local entrepreneurs here in Rome. And it started by a little bit by a joke, because we had to share the rent with someone. We have these beautiful villas. We have created this ecosystem that is fantastic. We convert luxury villas into offices. So the first villa that we rented was pretty high, the rent. And we said, okay, maybe we can share it with a new startup. And this sharing the rent ended up with sharing our experiences. New founders, they don't really know where to go. And we would mentor them with what we had experienced as founders and as a company with 10 plus years experience. That went pretty well. And we said, okay, maybe we can invest in that startup. So that's how it started. And these startups were all startups with the main driver that was AI. So they would use AI applied to different fields, different industries. And we invest in a startup that applied AI in transportation, in medicine, that would use it to find the best cancer treatment for patients, or a startup that would use AI to seek for debris in the space. This kind of companies with the thought of how can we use AI for the good? How can we have an impact with AI? So today, Pi Campus has 65 investments, and we're not mentoring them still because it's a lot of work, but we were investors in that field. And one of the spin-off of Pi Campus is Pi School, because Translated was in a great need of engineers that would master AI, because we are doing a lot of research in our companies, and these AI engineers are a rare, at that time. So we said, okay, why don't we create a company that will do education in AI? So what Pi School does, very unique. So we have these engineers that would like to have a hands-on experience in AI. They maybe have studied AI, but they have not really applied it to any kind of industry issue. And on the other side, we have a bunch of companies that maybe have tried what AI can do for them, but didn't really achieve, or they didn't know how to start. And we put these two ecosystems together. So in an 8-week program, so it's a very fast program. We do a fast prototyping. So the company that has an idea that AI can do something for them, and the engineers that want to have a practical hands-on experience, we put them together with some hired expert AI engineers that are hired by the school. We have some mentors in the field that we want to cover. And we do this fast prototyping for these companies. And there are done more than 100 projects so far. One that I want to share with you is pretty amazing. I'm still using it, even though it's still, it's a little bit old. It's one of the first that we've done. But to give you an example, so the Vatican City has a secret archive of beautiful books that are written in antique Latin. And they were willing to digitalize the secret archive. And they didn't know how to do, because at that time there was no system able to transcribe antique Latin. So we created the system, and we ended up with a beautiful technology that helped them out with that scope. So this is one of the things that we do, and we cover any kind of field, making sure that we use the state of the art of the technology. And sometimes it happens that we have what the company wants to achieve. We have the idea from the company, we have the technology, but a new AI technology is coming out, a new paper is available, and we make sure that we use that latest paper to guarantee the company that they will have the latest technology used for them. So
it sounds like this is hands-on training with AI.
exactly.
It sounds like you're really bringing it together for not just head learning, but you actually get your hands and you really get to dive into this, right?
It's the purpose. So it's like a postdoc training for the engineers, and they come out with a lot of experience. They get to know how to communicate with stakeholders. You know, engineers need definitely some training about how to communicate their project, what it is that they are trying to achieve. So not only they are working on a hands-on project, but we train them also on communication, how to handle and how to present their project. It ends up with like a pitch day. We call it the pitch day at the end of the 8-week program. What was the problem? What was the solution that they envisioned? How did they manage to do it? And what's the result? So that's how it ends up, and it's going.
How long is that process? How long is that hands-on training school?
It's only 8 weeks, so that's why it's very interesting for the companies, because it's a fast prototyping. They get to test whatever idea they have that AI can help them. So it's pretty amazing.
8 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow. So you and your husband are entrepreneurs, you're investors, you're business mentors, you're coaches. Which of those do you really love to do the most? Which area of all the things you get to do, what's your favorite part of all the whole business world?
First of all, I think being an entrepreneur is like we are strange beasts, you know. We're a strange species. You don't really know that when you start a business. It's I remember that when I started, I was pretty young. I was 22 years old with my husband. And it started as I said, as a love story, the willingness to stay together. And then the mindset changes. I think I was heads down for a pretty long time, like 20 years, really working on my thing. And when we sold the company we sold 6% each, and we organized this big celebration with all our community. And at some point, I had all my crowd in front of me, all the families that were working for us. And I started realizing, hey, we were having a great impact. It's pretty cool what we're doing. So the mindset changes. And I think I like the whole journey. It's really exciting because you have an impact on whatever you are doing at a larger scale. You know, as a person, I would have never done that without my husband and without my team. I have a lot of respect for the people who come and give me their time to allow my company to grow. And I think together we can manage to do great things. And I have a lot of respect for them. And for me, I have a sort of I feel responsible. It's like when you become an entrepreneur, you feel a little bit like you feel the responsibility to give back to the community, to give back to the people that give you time. And it's pretty amazing. The journey overall is, I don't have any preferences. I think the entire journey is just great.
Well, and then you talk about giving back, and I know you're involved with a project called Women of Today. And what's that about? I mean, that's another give back, right?
So I just love Women of Today. It's something I'm deeply connected and passionate about. And It basically started as a newsletter, but it showcases women from all walks of life in various positions and countries, and they share with me their journey and their struggles. And by doing this, they inspire other women to pursue their own path with confidence. In many countries, there are still outdated stereotypes and challenging conditions for women. And I thought it was very important to address this issue gently and openly, discussing topics like the imposter syndrome that I experienced myself, the unique struggles that women face with practical advices to overcome them. So we bring these conversations. It's a monthly newsletter and a podcast that I'm willing also to start. So we bring these conversations to crowd. I'm hoping that we can help other women elsewhere realize their potential and break through the barriers that have led them back for a long time.
That's fabulous to do a give back. I mean, you deal with the technology stuff, but now you give back to women, particularly, very human, personal thing. I think that's marvelous. As we get ready to sort of wind down here, I do want to let people know, here's how you get to the Translated website. Grab your phone, hit the QR code. It's going to take you right to Translated. And Isabelle, what are they going to find and learn about Translated when they go there?
So we have a lot of cool positions to fill out. We're consistently hiring experts in the fields. I think it's a company that very big tech companies, due to the technology that we are creating, and we've been recognized cool vendors by Gartner for this. And on the other side, we have this unique asset of having so many professional humans. So we can do a lot of things, and it's a cool environment to stay. We love to see people grow in our company, and we really take care of them. They have lots of facilities. We have pools, not a small one, but big ones. It's a big family. I'm very proud of it.
What would be the final thing you would want to tell people about the world of translation? What's the biggest thing? What's the greatest message you could tell the viewers here today?
The translation is something that touches us. This is our common denominator. We need to interact with people, and it's one of the greatest. I think it's more important for people to understand each other rather than doing anything else. It enhances communication and it helps people understand each other. And instead of creating wars, it creates understanding. So I think we're working in an industry that is so exciting and is so important. I'm super proud and excited to be part of it. And it's one of the largest problem of humankind. And it's what makes us grow, understanding each other. If my mom can access the knowledge of all the words, she has a lot more power rather than now. She barely speaks English. If I am able to translate her everything that is happening in the world, it's super powerful. So,
Isabelle Andrieu, thank you very much for being my guest today, sharing about Translated and all the amazing things you're doing. Best of luck. And for those of you watching, following along, don't forget to check out the show notes. In the show notes, there will be information how to contact Isabelle, learn about her and her social media. You want to connect, learn more. And of course, there will be the main link as well, going back to Translated and to the Pi School. Pi Campus. You can learn about all those amazing things. But that's going to do it for this edition of the Tech Visionary Show. And again, every show we go around the world, as you've seen here, and we reach out to amazing leaders, influencers that are pioneering and expanding the world of technology, just like we learned today. Today was translation. How much more practical could it be than having AI helping us with translation to help us expand our reach around the world? Come back for another edition of the Tech Visionary Show, where we talk to the visionary leaders of today, tomorrow, and the future. I'm Rich Bontrager. Until then, have a great week.